an award-winning film. But retired showman George Norman feels that the real beast in the film is made out to be his father. Tom Norman was the showman who first put on the Elephant Man on show to the public in East London during the 1880s. In the film, he's depicted as a harsh and unthinking master. And George, who took down his father's memoirs, feels that this is unjust. In fact, he claims that his father was the only real friend that Joseph Carey Merrick, the Elephant Man, ever had. Merrick suffered from an incurable disease that left his body twisted and disfigured.
According to the film, a guardian angel appears to rescue the Elephant Man from the world of freak shows. He was Frederick Treves, a surgeon at the London hospital across the road from where Merrick was being shown off to the public. Treves gave Merrick a room in the London hospital, and he eventually died there in 1890 at the age of 29. But the question still remains whether Tom Norman, known as the Silver King, was the evil showman that he's made out to be, and whether, as this clip from the film suggests, Treves was a showman too, albeit of a more socially acceptable kind.
Gentlemen, in the course of my profession, I have come upon many lamentable deformities of the face due to injury or disease, as well as mutilations and contortions of the body, depending upon like causes. But at no time have I met with such a perverted or degraded version of a human being as this man. And there is every indication that these afflictions have been in existence and have progressed rapidly since birth.
Well, George Norman, how do you feel that the film misrepresented your father, Tom Norman?
Well, right from the start, when my father was introduced to the Elephant Man, he sort of took an instant interest in him. I mean, the man's eyes was pleading, you know, and it showed so much suffering that they almost became brothers straight away. It sounds silly, I know, but they shared the same room, and they shared the profits of the show equally. And if I can give you some slight impression which contradicts the drunkard who was depicted as the showman in the film, I would like to say that my father at the time, and for a good many years afterwards, wore the badge of the Total Abstinence Society at his lapel. Now, far from saying to the Elephant Man, stand up, turn round, which would immediately caused an audience to sort of go against him, because the Elephant Man was a man of sympathy, exciting pity. He was more likely to say, ladies and gentlemen, if I could claim your indulgence for a few minutes, I would like to introduce to you what is probably the most unusual person ever to breathe the breath of life.
Well, George, you're
now, I ask you, just a moment, please, just a moment, please. I ask you, please, as a class of sensible people, not to despise this poor man on account of his unusual appearance. Were you to cut or prick him, he would bleed, and that bleed or blood would be red the same as yours or mine. Bear in mind, we don't make ourselves, we are all born, and so on and so on. Right.
OK, you're a showman yourself, as you've
No, I'm
demonstrated.
not a showman. I'm not a showman,
What about behind the scenes, though? The film showed him being kept in a cage. He was
rubbish.
Beaten, very badly treated.
Look, it showed him being exhibited in a cellar. Walked down sort of a dungeon. Ridiculous in the first place. Who would exhibit any novelty in such circumstances? He was in a shop right opposite the London hospital, a matter of feet away from the yard people outside. And my father and the Elephant Man shared the same room. On his first... All right, George, you're the governor.
Thank you very much indeed for talking to us. Hugh.
It is a live show. Here's a look at the weather.